Kusha. Welcome back to Colorful Creations. I'm going to do a painting for you today with just 3 colors actually. It's going to be titanium white, what I normally do for a base. I have Amsterdam turquoise green and Amsterdam black, and I also have a metallic black by Artist Loft. That's all I'll be using for this. So my idea is, so here's what I have set up here. This is what I'm going to do my painting on, these 3 art panels. They're 12 by 16 each. I have them primed with black gesso, and then because I didn't have white gesso, and the paint runs thin as it runs off the edge, so I just painted that edge white just to cover it. I don't want to have black showing through there. So that's why it looks like that. If I had white gesso, it would just be all white. So you see this one I did previously. This is a nice one I did with all black and silver, and there's a nice resin on that. That's why it's so shiny. And I kind of doing the same kind of idea with the colors kind of running down over it, just like how this looks like a waterfall. I want the same thing happening with this one, except it's going to be all black and this gorgeous green. So I'm going to show you my consistency with these in a second here, and I'm going to cover these all in white, and then we'll put some colors on and blow it out with a hairdryer, see how it looks when I'm done. Alright, so here's all the colors that I'll be using. This is titanium white. This is for the base. I have a lot of this mixed up. See, it's pretty thin. There's a link to a video in the description with my recipe. Here's the Amsterdam black. And the metallic black. And that turquoise green. Alright, so here we are. I have everything ready. I have a bunch of white mixed up for the base. I like to mix it up in a big bucket or something, and then I like to pour it in an empty Floetrol container and store it in that. That way it's airtight, it's not going to dry out on me, and I can give it a shake. It's a good idea not to shake it up too much right before you use it, because it will make a lot of bubbles and it will be like impossible to get out. It's just a really good way to store it. So I just realized I don't have these elevated. I gotta grab some cups. I want to have these elevated on 4 plastic cups each. Keep them nice and level. So I like to elevate my canvases or painting surface, whatever I'm using, on plastic cups. I like to use plastic because if any paint, wet paint gets on there and it dries, it's really easy to peel it off. Styrofoam will just rip apart. And it's good to have it elevated so that when the paint runs off, it's free to run off and doesn't glue itself anywhere. So I'm just gonna put these, I'm kind of like lining them up like a third. If you can imagine this divided into 3, and then I'm kind of just, I want these pieces as far apart as I can. So that's about a third. You can do half or whatever you want. I just decided to do a third for this one. And now, I mean, when these are hung on the wall, you'd have them a couple inches apart, but to do the pour, you want them as close together as you possibly can, so that the paint will run across them as one big piece. You just want to have them separated just enough for paint to run down between, so you won't, so like the edges will look right. So I'm just gonna pour paint on all of these, and then I'm gonna tilt them around to spread it out, and I will speed up the video so you don't have to sit there and watch all that, because it would be so painfully boring. So I will just show you though quick. I like to, just so that I don't lose a lot of paint like waste, I like to cup my hand around that corner and it will save some of it. And I also like to do this over another canvas if I'm doing a multiple panel painting like this, just so that it just saves some of it. So what you want is them to be as close together as they possibly can be without the paint actually touching. Now, this white has quite a few bubbles in it that I'm seeing, so I am going to torch it because I want to minimize the amount of white polka dots that pop up through my painting. All right, so I'm going to start with the Amsterdam black. Next, I'll go with the turquoise. I just grabbed a little more because I poured out too thick at the start and it kind of ran out here. And then I'm going to end off with the metallic black. And then last, I'm going to add a nice thick strip of white along either side of these colors, as close to it as I can without covering. This is going to give it a nice, I guess, pillow to float over it. Like, it helps the colors glide over top of that white. Now I have my hair dryer, just a regular one, just like covered in paint here with an attachment on it. You get these on Amazon. She just sits on there, and this just gives me a little more control over the air when it comes out. So now what I want to do is I'm going to blow it all in this direction, just a little bits at a time, like a little, kind of like this. And I don't want to blow over the same spot more than once if I don't have to. Alright, so here's the part where I'm always tempted to go over a spot again, but I just find it always ruins it. So it's best to just leave it for the most part. I might clean this up here a little bit. Sometimes you can fix a spattered looking spot by just slightly going over it, and it just helps spread that spatter out. That looks a lot better to me. All right, this is actually really what I want. Just a bit of that green coming out, and I'm getting some nice cells from the metallic black. So I'm gonna torch this. I should get a few more because I see some bubbles that are gonna pop up. I think I'm gonna give this just where it started. It's a lot of paint there. I'm gonna give that a little bit of a blow to kind of even it out. Just a bit. All right, I think this is really nice. I'm going to separate these a little. And then I'm going to take a popsicle stick and run it underneath along the edge just to get rid of the excess paint coming off. And when I'm always doing that, I always check the edges, corners, just look at everything to make sure it's all evenly covered. I just want to get a little bit more going off here. All right, I'm gonna bring you in for a closer look. All right, here we go. What do you guys think? There's where I blew that out a little more. It creates a little bit of more movement. There's another spot here. It's nice and even. Let me know what you think. I'm curious to know what you think of this one single color with the black and silver. I really like it. I think it makes it pop more, and it does not like, there's no colors that can clash here. So it can kind of, it'll go in a lot of places. It'll match a lot of things. So I will let this dry for a few weeks. It will take a few days to dry, about a few weeks to cure. I like it to cure very well before I add resin to it, and resin looks so good on wood like this, especially with any metallics. So I'll do that in a few weeks. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.